What's going on, friends? What's up, gamers? And welcome, DRULcast 141.
If we have friends that aren't gamers, is that why we say friends?
Yeah.
We say what's up, friends and gamers.
So here's
non-gamer friends listen.
Exactly. But here's why. You know why I say that? I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Well, wait. Let me hear what you were gonna say, and then I'll tell you whether you're right or wrong.
I was gonna say I think we talk more about the intro than we talk about anything else. There's always something with the intro that I always ask you about, or you tell the story like 100 times of how you developed it and things. And
for someone who does not want to do an intro, you have a lot of questions about my intro.
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe I just don't understand an intro, so I have to ask questions.
You're trying to get the origin story of my intro. No, so a while ago,
understand it, you know.
A while ago, my sister asked me if I knew how to set up a podcast. I was like, yeah, I run a podcast. And so I don't know. Ever since then, I kind of adapted to friends and gamers. But I don't know. That was it. That her asking me that made me realize that if I point her to it, she'd be like, I'm not a fucking gamer, but I am his sister. Not a friend, but still.
Right. Oh. So now you have a sister that's not a friend?
I mean, why are you trying to get me in shit, bro? I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right, so what's up? What's new?
Nothing. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm a year older.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you are. I mean, I wouldn't have announced that, but yeah. Yeah. This girl, I was out. Not this weekend before, last weekend. And I did kind of the things I usually do. I was like standing on some couches and stuff. I probably shouldn't have been standing on, but I was standing on some couches, and this girl starts talking to me, and she's like, "Oh, is it your birthday?" And I was like, "No, why do you say that?" She's like, "Oh, you were just dancing on the couches like it was your birthday." She was like, "I thought you just turned 21. You look real happy." And I'm like, "You're a sweetheart." I'm like, "But I'm definitely not 21." And she's like, "Oh, you're 21, huh? Or like you just turned 21 like recently." I'm all, No. I'm like, we're just gonna stop talking right now, but I really appreciate the fact that you think I am 21 years old.
Yeah, we all know you're like 40, so it's all good.
Exactly. Well, she didn't know. She had zero clue. She had zero clue. I felt bad for her.
Man.
But yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Why were
anyway, so yeah, it was your birthday.
It was, man.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Thank you.
See.
Yeah, so literally just got back from Maine, like maybe 3 hours ago.
Yeah, when you said, did I want to record on Sunday, I was like, yeah. And then I saw you on like a road trip, and I'm like, oh, we ain't recording.
We're definitely not recording.
This is getting pushed back by days.
So I thought the same thing, and because of that, I actually, whatever, I'm not going to get into that, but basically I took an extra day off work. Anyways, yeah, no, we came back.
Why don't you go to work, dude?
Shut up, all right?
Why don't you pay that Social Security, bro?
No, nobody wants to fucking talk about that right now, all right? So yeah, no, went to Maine.
People always tell me.
Went to Maine. I've always wanted to go to Maine I don't even know why.
You guys were in Maine like a year ago.
No, okay, so let me clarify. I've always wanted to go to Portland.
Okay.
Which is like downtown, the downtown area.
Well, I think that's the only like major city in Maine. It's not the biggest state in the country, so.
Exactly. So.
I mean, land-wise maybe, but like population-wise.
It reminded me, honestly, it's like, I want to say it reminded me of San Diego, but like on a minor scale.
Yeah.
Like completely minor. Pretty big, like homeless population.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But also, it's weird because it's like straight hipsters, like everywhere.
Interesting. I think I went to Maine once. Yeah, I don't remember where in Maine I went to though. All right, that's all I got.
It's straight up hipsters, and the funny thing is that the homeless kind of also do look like hipsters. So I'm like, I don't know if you're just homeless. Like there was a guy waiting. There was a guy waiting for a bus. First off, didn't know it was a bus stop. Right. Yeah. We're in City Hall. We're just kind of waiting for this event to start off. For the doors to open for an event, whatever. And we're just killing time. So we just go to City Hall, and we're just sitting, like literally sitting in front of City Hall, and we see a guy like across the way from us, like all the way across the way, and to me looked homeless. I'm like, oh man, like I feel bad, like he's probably gonna sleep there for the rest of the night, like and I'm like, man, like, and it was kind of chilly out, so I'm like, damn, like that sucks, dude, like I don't know how this guy does it, and I don't know where he gets up and gets on the bus like nothing happened. And I'm like, oh, you're not homeless.
Well, maybe he was. Maybe he just had enough money to take that bus ride.
Maybe he's just too cold. He's like, fuck this place. It's too cold. I'm out.
When you guys went to Maine last time, where in Maine did you go?
So we went to a place, I believe it was called Bethel, which is like, basically we were
Brothel?
in Canada. Huh?
Brothel?
Bethel. Brothel is what you're going to.
I don't know.
So yeah, we were just
big.
Yeah, it's huge. We were just basically minutes away from Canada, and this time around it was closer to us. It was like a 2-hour drive away from my house, right?
Yeah.
So way closer, and the other drive was maybe 3.5 hours, like way up there.
I don't see Bethel.
I think it was Bethel. I don't remember.
I mean, I didn't search for it. I'm gonna search for it. Bethel, Maine, there it is. Okay. I was just trying to look at the map. Oh, you're not that close to Canada.
It was. I mean, they had a Tim Hortons, so I can only imagine it was pretty damn close to fucking Canada, because those only exist in Canada.
I was looking along like the border. I thought you guys were literally like at the border.
Oh no.
You're halfway into the state. I'm looking at it right now.
I'm geography, bro. Like, moving on.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, man, it was good times. Just not not at all what I expected, but I did get to see a lighthouse today, which was fucking cool.
Cool. I had lunch on the lighthouse.
Did you really?
A few weeks ago. Yeah.
I was a little butthurt that I couldn't go in it. Like, that's kind of what I wanted to do.
Oh, well, this one was just a restaurant made to look like a lighthouse. You know what I mean?
The one that Coronado?
No, I was in Newport Beach.
Okay, so no. Wasn't that a lighthouse too?
Like LA. Coronado? Where did we go in Coronado?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff there.
We went over the bridge.
So, well, here's what I was getting at, right? That where we stayed was basically downtown, right? And
you guys stayed in a hotel?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's in downtown, and as soon as you check in, they tell you like, hey, we have like a pretty heavy like nightlife in this area. So do you want a room that's away from the front with like no view, or do you want the room with the view that might have a lot of noise?
Yeah.
So I'm like, is it bad? She goes, yeah, a lot of people complain. I'm like, fuck it, we'll just take it. Like, it can't be that bad, right? Like, you're up,
right.
You're up top, like 5th floor. Like, it can't be that bad. To me, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I get why people would complain, but it wasn't bad, you know. It was loud and definitely.
Was it louder than being in downtown San Diego?
So that's what I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
That's what I want to bring up is that they have nothing on downtown San Diego.
Oh.
Downtown San Diego is so much louder.
But I mean, like, from your room loudness.
No, the room was quiet. In San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah. Over here, they're actually working on getting like better soundproofing and whatnot.
But it was trying to get windows not from like 40 years ago.
Exactly. But it wasn't bad, you know.
Yeah.
But in terms of nightlife, like, dude, like, it's legit just one street and an alleyway, and the alleyway is just club after club after club and bar after bar after bar. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know. So it was cool. It was fun times.
Yeah,
fun
definitely.
Times. So yeah, on that discussion, I went to like a arcade. I think it's called Arcadia. It's like a bar / arcade.
Okay.
And yeah, it was really cool. It's like really small, tiny place, but when you walk in, you just get that feel of, this is like I could come here on a regular basis, you know?
Yeah.
It had that like homey vibe. Where, I mean, first off, it was hot as shit because I'm wearing a sweater.
It was hot
it's
in
cold.
Maine?
It's like windy out, you know.
Okay.
And it's, you know, pretty much in front of the water, like everything there is in front of water. So it's just windy, but it's cold. But once you get inside and it's a tiny place and everybody's drinking, it gets hot, you know.
Yeah.
So you just get hit with this like gust of just fucking hot air.
Arcadia National Bar.
It was
live nerds inside.
Yeah, that's the sign that actually got me to go in.
Hey, they're gonna give away tickets to PAX East also.
Are they? That's funny.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of they had like a schedule on a chalkboard, and it was like podcast recording this day, and I was like, cool. It must be pretty loud.
Right.
Because it's a bar. But no, man, they had a bunch of cool games. A lot of pinball games and whatnot, and I'm like, dude, like, we need these everywhere. Like, they need to sprout because I want to go.
Yeah.
they had a table just for tabletop. I was like, dude, what? Are you like really? Like, who goes to a bar and plays a tabletop game? That's just kind of, it's weird, but it works.
No,
at least for them.
So a lot of the breweries in San Diego, they have like games they just on the side of the brewery,
but it's like,
you know?
but it's like giant Jenga or
yeah.
checkers. Yeah, I've seen that.
No. But I mean, we have like normal games. They have like normal games too. There's like a whole stack of games.
Really?
Like just normal board games you can go like pick up and go bring back to your table and play. Yeah.
That's cool. I barely see that.
Yeah.
But still, pretty
I don't have to tell you then. Yeah.
So yeah, that was where I was heading at with that.
That's cool.
Arcade bar. Yeah, really cool, really awesome, really.
So when you move into Maine?
I'm not. There's no way.
Isn't it
way.
like
It's
like
just hipster central.
There's like nudity, or like you're allowed to be naked or something in Maine? Isn't there some rule like that?
I don't know. People are really up their own asses in Maine. I'll tell you that. Like,
really? Why is that?
Yeah, like I don't know. There was like a. All right, so we're crossing the street, right? And no, like we're on the crosswalk. Like, I don't know what your rules are, but I know that there are certain states that you can't jaywalk. So we have fucking crosswalks, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's stopping. Like nobody at all is stopping. You know. So whatever, we let everybody go, and then we went like normal fucking people, right? So later on, this guy, while we were actually the same time that I was admiring the not homeless guy while we were in City Hall, there was a guy with his friend who was walking their dog, and they looked like they were like jogging, like running, and this is so fucking weird. So they're on the crosswalk, and a guy just zips by them, and the kid decides to throw his fucking Starbucks cup at his car. Right?
That's funny.
Dude, I thought it was hilarious up until I heard the tire screech. The dude stopped hard.
Well, of course, if you got a cup of Starbucks thrown at your car, would you not stop too?
No.
No?
No.
You wouldn't?
Maybe. Well, so, but I mean, come on. Like, you see these kids on the crosswalk, like, why wouldn't you stop, right?
I guess.
So, whatever. The dude, he fucking stops hard, shifts it to reverse, and just fucking backs up, dude.
Yeah.
Gets out of his car, like, puts it in park, gets out of his car, and charges this kid. And I'm like, oh, boy, like, here we go. We're going to fucking witness a fucking fight. And then at this very moment, I realize I'm not the type of guy to pull out your cell phone and record shit like this. Like, that's just not me.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. Anyways, so, but then we see, like, these other, like, two little kids walk by, and they're instantly like, yo, world star. Like, you put out their phones and shit, you know? And I'm like, oh, my God. So, whatever. The dude charges at him, and he's, like, fucking slow. He's just wearing, like, a fucking cowboy hat. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is so embarrassing for you, sir. Like, you fucked up, too. Like, so whatever. He's like, oh, I'm gonna call the cops. He goes, this is disrespectful. You assaulted me. I'm like, is this guy fucking serious? So whatever, like, dude, it's a one-way street, so like a one-car road. He stopped literally in the middle, so he's just causing a traffic jam. Mind you, there's an event about to start like in a half hour around the corner from this building, so there's a lot of movement in the area, right? And so the guy's just like, no, I'm calling the cops. This is an assault, blah, blah. He goes, dude, you should have just fucking stopped at the crosswalk. Like, there's people in the crosswalk. Why are you an asshole? You should have. So, whatever. The dude's going to take a L regardless when the cops show up because he didn't stop at the fucking crosswalk.
Yeah.
Like, he had witnesses. The kid even, like, so whatever. Cops got involved. Like, it was fucking chaos. But it made me realize people from Maine they just need entertainment. Like, dude, the entire city just came out and just started looking outside and shit. I'm like, oh.
Well, maybe that's why they do it. They're having fun, you know?
The guy was just a fucking tool bag, man. There was no reason to stop. I would have. Nah, dude, I don't think I would stop. Somebody threw shit at my car. I probably deserved it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if I were that guy, I would have been like, yeah, I deserve that. The cops show up. And he's like complaining. He goes, look, man. Just like his window was open. That's the other problem. So shit got inside.
Yeah.
But still, even so, he was just coming out of a side street. Like, he could have stopped, you know? It wasn't like he was flying down the street or anything. Like, he legit just came out of a side street.
Oh, I guess anyway. Stop.
So, back to Arcadia, because this is what sprouted our conversation topic for today, which was eSports and colleges and scholarships and all sorts of other shit like that, right? So
Yeah.
I'm at Arcadia. I look up and I see the League of Legends whatever championship series. I don't know what it's called. I don't follow it anymore. But I saw it there. A mutual friend of ours was apparently there. No idea how or why, but he was there.
How or why? I mean, he flew there and because he wanted to go. There's your how or why.
All right, mutual friend who I just had no idea he was into the game. That's it.
Right. What did I?
So yeah, he's there.
I didn't know.
And then what did you bring up?
Oh, well, we're talking about like, I saw something that said like Big Ten Conference is gonna be in eSports or something like that. Mm-hmm. And Big Ten Conference is like a huge like normal college conference. They're not like, like I'll look it up real quick. I don't know what schools are all in there, but there's a lot of schools that are like major schools. So let's see, easiest way. Hopefully this is a good link to click on. It doesn't waste too much time, and obviously it's not because it's, oh my gosh, this is so terrible.
I don't even want to know.
Okay, well, here it is. School profiles. I'm guessing, here we go. You got Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Ohio State, Penn State, Purdue, Rutgers, and Wisconsin. So, like, those are big schools, you know what I mean? Like, major universities in the United States. And it's like, why is Big Ten going to do, like, esports? That's stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my argument that I think, because a lot of stuff, or like the thing you sent me, whatever it was, what would you send me?
So I sent you a link to AVGL, which is the American Video Game League, right?
Okay, all right. It's a stupid name, but the point is that they use the word college in like their thing. Right?
Yeah, one of their things is AVGL College Esports. That's their like go-to thing. Just to clarify, I know little to anything about anything that the AVGL does, and I gotta clarify that because anything that we might say could be incorrect. I don't know.
Right, but what is definitely correct is that they use the word college.
Okay.
Right, and I think that's where we were getting some confusion in there. Because I was saying, like, I don't support colleges doing esports, and you're like, well, here's this thing and stuff, and it's like, well, it's different, though. You know what I mean? This is like...
It's not supported directly by the college, so you just don't want it to have ties with
like a major university. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, major universities shouldn't be doing stuff like that. And then I was like... Then my whole idea, for whatever reason, I was real on it the other day, it was like, well, if universities want to do this, like, I would be the type of person, if I had the money and the resources, to, like... Instead of letting kids go to these universities to, like, quote unquote, become good at playing games, I would just, like, give them a spot. I'd be like, yeah, you're just going to come hang out with me, and you're going to whip all these kids in the universities and end their programs. You know what I mean? Like, that would be, like, my deal with it. So that was my thing. I was just like, it's kind of stupid that they're, thinking about doing stuff. It's just like, no.
Themselves as like colleges are thinking of doing.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, at this rate, like everyone is going to that. Like a lot of people are going to that, like, thing. That esports mentality. Like a lot of people have gone to that. I mean,
that's fine. You can, but why should a major university do it?
Dude, fucking MLG, MLG was sold to who was it? To like a major, I forget what.
Okay, well, check this out. Here's the argument. So, normal sports, basketball,
Activision.
football, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. Basketball, football, soccer, all those type of sports, right? A college university has a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
They have good programs for those sports. And a good program for those sports enables players to become better because they either have like a really good coach or really good facilities, things like that. And it's like, sure, I can go home and play basketball at home by myself and become really good at making shots and stuff, but I can't really first be nationally recognized or like, what's it called? Or even play against other people who are like as good as me. Or maybe as good as me, you know what I mean? Without playing on that, like, collegiate level to get to the pros. But as far as video games go, I can play all I want in my house and play against as good people as I could find to play against.
Mm-hmm.
And I can be literally the best in the world just from my house. I don't need the support of a major university or televised games or any other stuff to get recognized. I can become the best player in the world, and I can link up with the other best players in the world and form a team all from my house and all from their homes. Like, without
needing to. No, I get that. Yeah.
So that's kind of the argument. It's like, why are they me going to a Big Ten school or any school with any, any major university in a conference to play video games kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it just doesn't make sense, because it's like people who are good can be good and can dominate your school that you're spending money on. Like, they're going to spend money on a program.
They're going to drop money on it, so they're going to have to.
Right.
Like,
but how are you going to compete against people? You know what I mean? These kids are still in school. They still have to get grades and do things like that. It's like, there's kids in other parts of the world who this is all they do.
That's their job, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, and it's like, okay, so you could make the same argument like basketball. Okay, sure, there's people who play basketball, that's all they do too, or football or whatever. But it's like, no, video games, like literally, like, kids wake up, play video games, and go to sleep, and wake up and play video games. Like, this is literally all they do. And if you're in college, you can't do that. You still have to, you still have homework, you still have classes, you still have to graduate. And I just don't see. It's not you can't apply that, like, traditional thinking of a sport to esports, because it's not a traditional sport. You know?
I mean, but even so, you still, like, a basketball player still going to practice. They're still, playing.
Right. But
like, that's no matter what, that's still taking.
But I mean, like, I'm sure there's rules, like, for NCAA, right?
Mm-hmm.
For, like, college athletes, there's probably rules like, hey, you can only practice so many hours a week or in so many hours a day. Like, these are probably rules, so, like, you don't kill your players.
Yeah.
But there's people in the world who literally will play video games all day, and there's nothing governing them. So how can you compete as a college that has rules against somebody who has no rules? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. No, I get where you're coming from. I see what you're saying, but I mean, there's just I don't know if a college should sink money into something like that. First off, all right.
I mean, that was the article. It was like they were thinking, or like getting into it or thinking about it. So that's why I was saying, like, I don't understand why they would, because it seems like a dumb idea.
So leagues aside, like the AVGL, for example, like that aside, we're talking specifically from the colleges doing their own thing. Each college is gonna have their own esports, like, branch or division, if like anything like that, right?
Sure.
If that's the case, yeah, I don't know, man. That would be a little weird. I don't know how they would even regulate something like that, because I mean, it's hard. Like, the argument that you said that, there's certain hours and things like that, you can't really do that for gaming. It's not like it's not a physical thing, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah. And so, like I said, kids still have to graduate. They still have to take classes. You can't compete.
I mean,
they cannot compete with people who all they do is play games.
They can't. Yeah, I mean, it would have to be some sort of like a grade type thing, or I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. Only time will tell. But I've been seeing, I've been seeing a lot of esports talk and all this, just tournaments everywhere, man. Like, it's crazy, and the amounts of money too, dude. Holy shit! Like,
yeah,
But I mean, how is this at all any different than, like, the Turner League, for example? They're doing their whole CS:GO thing.
Well, I mean, because that's
being broadcasted on fucking.
Right, it's okay to be broadcasted. It's just that, how can a player that's going to a university compete? I mean, like, universities that have rules and things compete with somebody who has no rules, right? So, like, the best team in the world right now in League, they're sitting there playing League all day, and that's all they're going to do. They're already a professional team, so how is a collegiate team going to, unless they create, like, a different tier, so, like, oh, this is the college tier, pre-pro, like, minor league. But that's just stupid. Like, video games, you're either good or you're not good. Like, why do we want to split it up? You know what I mean? It's like, traditional sports is different.
But they're taking
when you're young,
into that
you're smaller.
Though.
Huh?
No, because that's not really, that wouldn't really be fair. So, like,
What wouldn't be fair?
Here's my example. So, right, the other day, man, not even the other day, just a while ago, whatever, when we were playing. I mean, I could even go as far back as to say when I was playing Call of Duty. Like, if I were to look at a tournament, right, like a game battles, for example, they have like, you know, random tournaments that they put up. It's like you put up some credit, you pay whatever, maybe $3 entry fee, and then you have a chance of winning like $100, for example, right? Mm-hmm. If I enter that tournament and I know and I can see the roster of who signed up, and I see all like a lot of players that I know that are better than me, I'm not gonna want to play, right? Like that, I'm just fucking feeding you I'm just feeding you money. I'm not gonna play. Okay. But that's knowing that you in the past have won a championship. Like, I know who you are because you've won some sort of an award, right? Yeah. Now, if they put, you know, amateur only, I'm in. I haven't won shit. I'm not known. You know,
right,
I don't.
Right.
I'm in on that because I feel like the chances would be fair across the board between everyone. So yeah, I think if you do a college league, right, and then have them compete, whoever's the best between them could go into like a sub, you know, like a different division or something like that to play against the best of another and then the best of another, and just keep that going. And then you have your world championships, for example, and then that's where they all meet. You know, you can have something like that, and that's even been done, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Halo has done that. Halo, I don't really know anything about the Halo breakdown of how any of that championship series went or goes, but I know that they have, you know, they have different divisions. They're all, you know, based everywhere. I know Call of Duty does the same thing. Call of Duty has like different leagues like that compete. One competes what is it? I've seen them compete at PAX. I've seen like there's
I understand that. Yeah, sure.
But each one of those leagues, their credit is going towards a different like league, you know. So if you play on UMG, you're gonna be best at like UMG or whatever.
Right, and that's
you're gonna
fine.
play ESL. That's gonna be you're gonna be the best at that. So, you know, Europe has their own thing, and then they all meet, and here's the world championship. I don't know how, like I'm saying, I don't know how this shit breaks down, but I could see like a college thing, and then just keep it internal. You know, don't like you have to be enrolled in a college, this, that, and then it just gives them a chance to go out and, you know, maybe compete against the other people the people who you say, you know, eat and fucking breathe this game. You put them up against them, and whether or not they win or lose, like that's the point of the tournament, you know.
Well, the thing, like, okay, so the thing about college though and other like sports so like minor league, and then college and high school, etc. The reason why all those exist and have a reason to exist is because a high school player is probably not going to be able to play against a pro player.
True.
Because they're younger, they're not as strong, they're not as big, they're not as experienced. But a 13-year-old gamer can be a 20-year-old gamer, or an 8-year-old gamer can be a 13-year-old gamer. So there's really no like that traditional ranking type or that like tiering of a league, or like, you know what I mean, is different. Like, so you have your different leagues in esports, but they're all the same thing, just different brands. So it's like American League, National League, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like AFL, NFL, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like it's the same thing. It's the same thing, just, you know.
The same thing on a grand scale, but once you start diving into each individual one, then that's where things kind of change up.
Right.
No, I get that.
At the same time, though, it's like, that's why I'm saying college is still kind of stupid, because even if they do have their own thing, it still doesn't. Either you're gonna beat the best players in the world, or you're not. You know what I mean? You're not playing, because like college, like you play college basketball or college football, you're basically trying to get a job as a professional player in the same country, right? Like if you play college sports in the United States, you're trying to get a job as a professional player in the United States. If you play in a different country, you're probably trying to become a professional player in that country. That's how it works. Yeah. But now we're not playing nationally or locally or statewide. We're global. It's a whole different. The same rules that we've used in traditional sports no longer apply. So that's why I don't think that a university, like a established university, could be successful against anybody else in the world, any other team in the world. You know.
It's
pretty impossible.
I get it. I see it. I understand that.
I mean, there may be a team that all ends up at one like major university, and they just happen to be like really, really good. Like all of them happen to be really, really good, and they all happen to be on the same team. And they play really well as a team, and they could beat like the best team in the world. It may happen. It could happen, and it probably will happen. But that's like a very, very rare case where that would happen. You know what I mean? Where like they could still do their schoolwork, graduate college, and be the best team in the world at whatever game they're playing.
Yeah.
It's different at that point.
Hey, but they could be the best at their own college.
Yeah, but nobody cares about that. That's what I'm saying. This is global.
What
dude.
you mean? That's fame, bro.
It's global, man. If they're not playing on that scale, you know.
I understand that, but still, I mean, I see it working out just like an in-house thing, like just between them, you know, like between whatever schools want to register for this like big league, for a college league, let's just call it, right?
Well, let's just say no. How about that?
I agree.
I mean, it could work. Yeah, sure. It
but
could.
Yeah,
let's just say
I think, you know, between them, I agree. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen because I think resources are going to be spent where they shouldn't be spent. And the people or the kids who actually want to partake have plenty of other options.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't have to be tied down to this one school's team. You could go to whatever big team you want to go to as long as you make it, you know?
Right. But I mean, yeah, I'm just going to say no. Everything. All
right.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I barely played anything. Actually, I lied. I played a lot of Battleborn.
Yeah, you've been on that.
Been on Battleborn, man. I like it. Today's the last day of beta. I don't think I'm going to play again, but I like it. Once more, though, it's one of those games that if my friends don't get it, I'm definitely not going to get it because it's not as fun solo. It's a MOBA, a console MOBA. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. Really well made, really awesome gearbox, funny writing, a ton of collectibles. Yeah, that's all I got. That's it.
I'll try some stuff too, but I gotta run anyway. So
all right,
it works out. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just leave it at that. Next week, I don't even know what we're gonna do.
Why?
Well, PAX is
I'm out of town
Friday.
anyway.
You're out of town, so I'll probably work something out with Juan anyways. Yeah. So until next week. And if you're going, I'll see you guys at PAX. Play 2 Duel. Peace.